What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Nathan at Mitigatestress 2.0, and today I'm going to be giving you guys many reasons, my story, my experience of why I stopped bodybuilding. It was tough because it was a big passion of mine. Well, my biggest passion, really, for many, many years. I got into it right after college more seriously. I started in college. Again, my lifestyle in college wasn't as great as it was after college, of course, still partying, drinking. But throughout, my teenage years, I was always the smallest kid. And what really interested me in the bodybuilding realm was just getting bigger. That was what fascinated me at the time. That was my goal, was to just get big and see how much weight I could lift and how much muscle I could put on. So, and that's what happens, with many individuals, in our opinion, is we go into the gym with the right intention, and we'll get why I think bodybuilding actually deteriorates the body later in the video. But, I got more serious into it after college. I was working out an hour to 2 hours a day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. I had a coach for over a year, taking pictures, every week, sending them to him. He would critique them, give me diet plans, and I was just going along with what he told me and what I kind of learned just on my own. And a lot of the information that I had built up was, unfortunately, was more stress causing. We'll get into that as well. But I got really big. I was deadlifting over 550 pounds, squatting over 400 pounds, benching over 300 pounds, and I put on muscle quick. I was up to like 185 at my heaviest. And about 8 years into it, seriously working out. And you can check pictures on my Instagram if you really want to see how big I got. You just got to scroll all the way down. But I got sick again. I got sick for the second time. First time I had Lyme disease, and then all the symptoms came back. And that kind of woke me up to like, okay, am I doing everything that's making me healthy? I had to kind of question the status quo. So I got sick again, and that's what kind of began to start the process of me asking questions of why I was doing it. And that was one reason why I stopped, was I got sick, and I had to kind of say, okay, maybe this isn't really supporting health. And from there, it was, of course, I had a lot of injuries from bodybuilding, a lot of back pain, a lot of knee pain. When I got sick again for the second time, I was inflamed in all my joints, my elbows, my knuckles, especially my knees. I had a lot of foot pain, a lot of ankle pain, a lot of neck pain. I had constipation, chronic fatigue. I had to take naps all the time. It was terrible. Energy drinks. Of course, I was up early every day as a trainer, 5 a.m. But, just so many health issues at such a young age. I was only 24. So it was kind of a wake-up call. And when I started getting into the type of style of training I do now, which is posture and gait cycle, that's what kind of was like, okay, bodybuilding yields really only one result, and it's building muscle and looking good. And not saying that's bad. It's just there's so many things of bodybuilding of why it actually deteriorates the body and slowly destroys the body. And it's a stress. It's a huge stress because, number one, why I stopped is when I learned and when I had to research, because all the stuff I was taught through certifications, no one told me that isolating a muscle like a bicep curl or a shoulder press or a leg extension, that's not how the body is designed. All of our muscles connect together. And when you isolate one muscle at a time, you disconnect the whole chain. The whole kinetic chain, the whole activation of everything together. And I learned a lot of this through functional patterns. Shout out to them. Helped me out so much. Anatomy Trains book by Thomas Meyers. He's a great guy to look into, of how the biomechanics of the body actually work, and looking into what is the foundation of a human. What are we designed to do? And we're designed to stand, we're designed to walk, we're designed to run, and we're designed to throw. Those are the primary blueprint movements of the human body. not to deadlift, not to squat, not to bench press, not to bicep curl. It is to walk, run, throw, and stand. And when I took pictures of myself in a standing posture, and then when I correlated that to what a actual standing posture should look like, I was like, oh my gosh, my posture is wrecked. So again, that was probably the big reason why I stopped, was injuries that led me into understanding what is the human body designed to do. It's not designed to isolate at all. You have these myofascial slings. It's like when we throw and when we run, we integrate, we use every muscle together. And another thing with the movements that many people do in the gym, especially in bodybuilding, is they're very restricted. Most movements are in what's called this sagittal plane. One plane of motion. There's the sagittal plane, there's the frontal plane, and there's the transverse plane. And the human body is meant to move in all, actually 4 dimensions. That's how we're meant to move as we walk. We don't just walk like kangaroos. We don't go around deadlifting. We don't go around squatting. We don't go around bicep curling or bench pressing or calf raising. We go around walking. And that is called the gait cycle. And when you begin to train your gait cycle, because as a human, that's what I have to do to get from here to there. I have to go walk. I do walking. We all do walking more than anything else in our day. The gym is a very small piece or the exercises we do in the gym are a very small percentage to what we do in reality. And when I made that connection, like, oh, the human body's meant to walk, run, and throw, not deadlift, squat, bench press, shoulder press, bicep curl, tricep push down, calf raise, lateral raise. Again, that's my experience. But then when you actually implement standing neutral posture properly, you start to trigger point, you start to train the gait cycle, and you start to not be in pain anymore. You don't want to go back to no matter how much you lift, because strength is relative. Being strong is relative. Just because you can lift X amount of weight doesn't mean that correlates to health and that correlates to functionality. I think how well you can walk, run, and throw are a better method of analyzing, or what's a word to put, I mean, it's a better way to determine health, and not just being big, but how do you sleep? How's your energy levels? How's your mood? How's your digestion? How's your recovery? Are you in pain all the time? Can you walk properly? Can you run properly and not have any issues going on? It's so common to see people not be able to sprint because, oh, I have this issue. But the human body's designed to sprint. It's like when someone, for instance, says, oh, I can't digest this food or dairy. Well, yeah, because your gut's messed up, not because the food. Yeah, it could be sourcing of food, but again, that's a topic for another day. You get the point. Another reason was, again, I wanted to see results. I wasn't seeing results with my health. Yeah, I was getting bigger. Yeah, I was lifting a lot of weight. Yeah, I looked great. But I had a lot of these internal issues. And when I began to stop bodybuilding, and start to focus on what really mattered as a human, how our body's designed, what God created it for, that's when I didn't see the benefit in it. And I didn't. I saw benefit more in training the posture, learning how to breathe again, eliminating all these restrictions, because when you begin to isolate a muscle, you're disconnecting it. You're creating a lot of adhesions and a lot of knots, like we talk about when we do trigger pointing. You're creating dehydration. You're creating calcification when you bodybuild. And me personally, I don't want to be dried out and walking like a statue or having all these surgeries like you see a lot of these pro bodybuilders when they finish their career. I want to be able to walk properly and run properly when I'm 80 and 90. That's just me. I want to be able to do this stuff long term. So it was about the perspective as well. I think that's a huge thing of understanding why, the purpose behind everything that you do. Again, I had to ask myself, why was I doing this? Was I doing this for vanity-driven results because I just wanted to look good and be as big as I could? At the time, yes. But my perspective changed. So I think it's okay to change. So yeah, it goes against, the bodybuilding goes against human biology. It doesn't respect the gait cycle. It stays in one plane of motion. On top of that, you're compressing the spine. So many people have spinal issues. Again, posture controls every function of the human body because our nervous system is in our spine is our posture. It compresses. You have gravity on top of squatting with a bar on your back. That's very, very detrimental. And a lot of the movements with bands around your knees going side to side, again, the body doesn't move side to side, it moves forward with our glute max, not our glute medius. Again, there's so many little things I can go into, but I'm going to just keep it basic. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram or shoot a comment below. Yeah, so vanity driven, that's why I stopped. I was more focused on actual health, like how good I was supposed to feel, my energy levels, my sleep, my inflammation, my digestion. It was wrecked. And with bodybuilding, you're working out. Another thing is your environment. I haven't even gone into that. It's like you're under these bright lights. You've got no natural sunlight. You're sitting down. A lot of the exercises, you're just stuck in this seat. You become like a brick, very stiff. I couldn't even sprint when I was a bodybuilder. I was so restricted because I created all these issues. And then, working out in that environment and then doing it for hours at a time, day in and day out, plus all the other stresses in my life I was doing. You're expelling a lot of this CO2 from breathing through your mouth. I didn't know about nose breathing back then, so you're expelling all this CO2. So then you build up a lot of lactic acid in your muscle. And lactic acid buildup is synonymous with cancer, disease, diabetes, you name it. It's the faulty mechanism of metabolism. It's like plan Z. It's like not good. We want to be optimal metabolism, which is oxidative phosphorylation. But basically you're burning lactic acid is a bad source of fuel instead of pyruvic acid, if you want to get sciencey. So this lactic acid builds up, you become sore, and then you're sore for 4 or 5 days sometimes in this one muscle. That's not healthy. You don't want to be sore to the touch where you can barely walk. When people do leg days, they're like, oh, I can't walk the next day. That's not good. You should be able to move after a workout better than what you were doing before. And that's the type of style of training we do now at Mitigatestress. So we do workouts and movements and corrective exercises that open up these restrictions, that get you connected, that get you be able to move more effectively after your workout so you feel good. You're not just destroyed after and you don't want to do anything. I remember that feeling. Wanting to take naps after every workout. So those are the main topics. Vanity driven, it goes against human biology, the environment you're in. I'd rather be outside working out on grass with natural movement, fresh air. So hope that kind of clears it up why I stopped. Those are the main reasons why I stopped bodybuilding. It just wasn't supporting longevity and actual health, strength. It didn't respect human biology of walking, running, throwing. It caused more injuries. I stopped seeing results. The environment I was in, overall, just the intensive. It's a stress. It's really a stress, especially when you do it hours at a time, and you got all these other stresses in your life. It just compounds. It's one more stress. So it's context again on how many other stresses you got in your life, and you can build muscle without lifting heavy weight, especially when you use all your muscles together properly. If you want to build muscle, you got to keep stress low. So, yeah, the whole diet with the bodybuilding thing is another video, but you can watch our other videos on protein and what we recommend now. It's just simply focusing on anti-stressful habits and avoiding and mitigating as many stress-causing habits in your life as possible. So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with somebody. If you got any questions, shoot them down below. We do free health consultations, stress consultations on our website at mitigatestress.com. We have our anti-stress starter guide that you can get for free. Just subscribe on the website. That'll be sent to you. We give you over 20 plus habits, nutritional foods, other supplements that could be causing stress in your life, over 20 plus different food combinations that you can incorporate into your life that are anti-stressful supplements, trigger point videos, how to begin this process of undoing all this stress that you've caused. Most of the stress, again, has been unknown to you, and it was for us, and that's what we like to share with you all. So again, share this video. If you haven't checked out the website, check it out, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.